Hey, Fallen. I guess Willie told me you were promoted to co-CIC, you and Greg, so congratulations on that, man. Lead those Navy SEALs to victory. So, Fallen requested that I make you all a video regarding credit bases, you know, how to set up a credit base and everything. So, I already selected a base that looks amazing for credit setup. There's actually one that looks better, or statistically would be better for me, but this one looks cool. I mean, just look at the way the Tiberium fields are set up. So putting a bunch of refineries in the middle of that it just makes sense, man. It would just be awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and put my base there. And this is also how you can choose the layout of your base. So for those of you who don't know how to do that, look at the layout of this base, and what you do is when you plop your base down, you put it on top of this. You put it on top of your outpost or camp that you chose. No, you probably can't put it on top of a forgotten base because it's in yellow territory, but you can put it on top of outposts and camps that are in either unclaimed territory or whatever, as long as it's not forgotten territory. So check out the layout of that base, and I'm going to plot mine right on top of that. Let's call, oh shit, who did I sleep with after? Who was the last one? Tiana? You know what? I had a fun weekend in Vegas. Actually, I think it was before Tiana, but there were like 3 unknown girls that I slept with, so we'll label it unknown 1. So we go in there and we have that exact same setup. So that's how you can choose the actual layout of your base, everybody, in case you haven't been told how to do that yet. We'll put my construction yard, right about there, just for defensive purposes, and upgrade the hell out of it. Get that thing up to, I've got a good amount of resources. So we'll put it at level 20 for now, and then so what you want to do with your credit bases is you want to select an area where you're going to be able to touch the most Tiberium fields, okay? So I can touch, what did I make the statistics? I can touch, 2 of my refineries can touch 4 Tiberium fields, which would be these 2. 3 will be able to touch 3 Tiberium fields at the same time, because it raises your bonuses. 11 will be able to touch 2, okay? I'll be able to get 11 refineries touching 2 Tiberium fields, and 13 that touch 1. So I'm going to go ahead and fill all those in and just kind of show you how this works, okay? Say I'm a symmetrical type of person. I'm an engineer, so that's just kind of the way I work. And beyond that, then you can attach some power plants around some of these. So like I can put a power plant right here because that'll touch 2. Because you do need still a little bit of power, but this base isn't focused on power, so that's not your main focus. But you do still need some power in order to upgrade some of this stuff. So let's get all these in place. No, not there. And and then you just start upgrading the heck out of this stuff. Now the ones that touch 4 Tiberium fields, these ones you're going to want to upgrade the most. Those ones you need to upgrade the absolute most, okay? So those ones should be your highest level. Next is your ones that touch 3 Tiberium fields. Then all your refineries that touch 2 Tiberium fields. So make sure you do all that. I'll go ahead and end this video so that you guys don't have to watch me upgrade everything, but then I'll go upgrade it all and I'll come back and show you, okay? Show you what it looks like. Alright guys, so this will just be tacked on to the end of the last video. So got that all upgraded, and so credit production coming out of this base is actually the most I have of any base. I just checked all my other ones. My resource package production and continuous production sitting at 145, 187, and basically that little bit extra just adds another 1 into there. So yeah, we're a little over 300,000 coming out of this base. Total credit production for me now is what, like almost 1.5 million so per hour, and that's pretty good. My other credit bases, this one is still under 300,000. This one also still under 300,000. In fact, barely over 200,000. This one, oh, it's over 300,000. That's not bad. And this one a little over 300,000 as well. And those ones I've been just slowly upgrading. So this is one of my offensive bases. I have 2 offensive bases. And then this is my main offensive base. If you guys want to copy some of that power output, it does help a ton. Just remember before you get into PvP to move your, your defense facility and your defense HQ over here, you know, closer to your construction yard, sort of. Maybe space them out a little bit, but with the way my defense is set up, yeah. It was a bad idea for me because I had my defense facility sitting way over here, and yeah, the guy was able to take me out in 2 hits because I forgot to put my defense facility back inside of, you know, behind all my defense. So, anyways, but yeah, that base is rocking the freaking the credit production now. In fact, I think it is the highest of all my bases. I think Shannon was the next highest. No, Shannon's higher. Okay. But anyways, and just for the sake of being able to blow all the rest of the resources that I had there, like all that power and that crystal, set up an offense. So just having an offense there, and it actually took, I think I was at 98 when I was at number 98 when I started upgrading, or when I had finished upgrading all my refineries. But by putting down these extra buildings and putting down a command center, plus you want a command center because that way you can actually look for other bases around each and every one of your bases, because some of my bases still don't have command centers. Like this one, it doesn't have a command center. So, and I was trying to scope out a place to put my base, because if you put it on top of camps and outposts, it'll, you know, you'll get that layout. But I can't look inside these bases because I don't have a command center on either one of these. So I can't look inside of them. So yeah, I had to put a command center inside of some of those bases so that I could look inside, or look into these other ones. So where you have a command center, then you can look at it regardless of whether or not you have an offense. But if you don't even have a command center, you can't even look at a camp and the layout and all that stuff. So it could be a good idea to put a command center in each and every one of your bases. That way your bases, when they're spread out looking for POIs, when you get another base, you can look all around all of your bases for a good base layout for a credit base or another attack base that'll give you a lot of power production. So that's why I did that. I put a command center in there, and then just to blow all the rest of the resources and have somewhere to put resources, and it took my rank up 5 rankings. So it helped quite a bit to have another offense and have a defense. A lot of my bases, some of them don't have offenses, but they have defenses. And that's where I blow all my resources in these bases, because it doesn't have an offense in it. It just has a defense. So I just use that to blow the rest of the resources that I have. Any extra crystal or power that I can't use, I just blow it on my defense. And that just helps you to keep ranking up and keep accumulating points. So, yeah. But anyways, that's kind of the way it goes. So let's see what my... Oh, I'm getting close to the next rank. Alright, 20,000 away. Alright guys, so take it easy, Navy SEALs. That's kind of just how I set up a credit base. But you kind of just have to see what works for you. So power bases, which are your attack bases, that's how I set up my power base. It wasn't perfect from the beginning, but that was my first base, so couldn't really set up my power production perfectly. But I mean, how much am I producing? So my continuous is 822,000. I mean, I'm over, what is it, 1.2 million power per hour. So, and that's what you want for a base like this, because as you can see, the only thing I run out of is power. I'm overstocked on crystal and Tiberium. And when we got into a little bit of a war with Ex Nihilo, I transferred a bunch of my crystal into this base. And then, yeah, so I actually transferred like 300 million crystal into this base, so that this base and this one could go to war. But I've been pulling crystal over from those because I've been upgrading my defense like crazy. But yeah, that's just kind of how I would set up a power base. Try to get as many accumulators as you can next to these things. I've already talked to you guys about that. You know that stuff. But when it comes to credit bases, yeah, look for a good setup of Tiberium fields and put all your refineries in the middle. I try to keep the level higher on the ones that are touching more Tiberium fields. So you can see the ones that are touching 4 are level 25. The ones that are touching 3 are at level 22. All the ones that are touching 2 Tiberium fields are at level 20. And these ones actually I should probably level up more, because this one's touching 2 Tiberium fields plus 3 power plants. This one's touching 2 Tiberium fields plus 2 power plants. So that's probably worth quite a bit. I mean, 15,000 per hour. Yeah, it's almost as good as some of the ones that are touching 3 Tiberium fields. But as you can see, 3 Tiberium fields at level 22 versus 2 Tiberium fields and 3 power plants at level 20. You know, I'm still beating it with 3 Tiberium fields, even though the level is 2 higher. But so all the ones that are touching 1 Tiberium field that are just kind of meant to fill in all the spaces, those ones are all at level 18. So 2 Tiberium fields I put at level 20, 3 at level 22, 4 at level 25, and the rest of them are at level 18 that are only touching 1 Tiberium field. So kind of just look at the level that you're putting things at, and it helps your credit production, because this is my second highest credit producing base already. I just put it down 10-15 minutes ago. So anyways, good luck over there, Navy SEALs, and yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Well, maybe. I'll see you at the center.